Hello and welcome to the Naija Talks basketball podcast brought to you by your host Amos and Precious. Each week you will hear a lot about all things Nigerian basketball, from the D Tigers to the Tigers and other basketball leagues like the NBA, BL and many more. Thanks and subscribe to our YouTube channel Naija Talks Basketball and follow us on Spotify and everywhere you get your podcast. Thank you.
Hello and welcome to Naija Talks Basketball. I'm your host, FIBA Precious, and I'll also be joined by my co-host, Amos. Amos, you are welcome. Please introduce yourself to our audience.
Hello, my name is Amos Aponome, and this is Naija Talks Basketball. It's a pleasure being on this show and podcast.
Yeah, it's a pleasure to have you. Myself and Amos will be bringing Naija Talks Basketball to you. Naija Talks Basketball is where you can get all analysis concerning the D Tigers, the D Tigress, all information you need, talking points, every information you need concerning the Nigerian players in the NBA, the Basketball Africa League, the Nigeria Basketball League, every information concerning the world of basketball in Nigeria. Naija Talks Basketball is the podcast for you. Let's get started. Let's jump to the first talking point of today. Let's talk about the FIBA World Cup AFRO qualifiers. Nigeria failed to qualify for the FIBA World Cup, the 19th edition of the FIBA World Cup. The D Tigers will not be there. What really went wrong? This was a team that qualified for the World Cup, the first team that qualified for the World Cup, if my memory serves me right, of the last edition, but we will not be going to this, the 19th edition. What really went wrong for Nigeria?
It's so sad. It's a sad word. A major setback to us, we the fans and also lover of basketball, especially Nigerian basketball. And what really went wrong? One of the things I pointed out was that, first of all, we keep having different rosters for different games. It affected the mentality of our game, affected the progression of our game. Though the guys we had are top-notch guys. These are guys that have qualified. They have flied the Nigerian flag very high when it comes to international tournaments and also continental tournaments also. So these are top guys that are playing in different leagues across the world, and they are doing very well also. So, but we keep having these different rosters of players, different game, first window, second window, third, and it went on like that. So it kind of affected our game also. And number two,
but you know that we can't prosecute all these qualifiers without having different rosters, right?
Yeah, exactly. I know, but at some point, we keep having different guys, different coaches, different guys, different coaches, and it's either the last guys we have for maybe one particular window are way better than the guys we use maybe for window 2. Then the guys we're using for window 3 is either we are lacking one key player that was in window 1 that gave us particular win that was that played a vital role in us winning games. You understand? So it was just messing up, kind of messing up our game. It's not like I'm saying the fault is from the players or anything. I know definitely because of the leagues all across the world, and then one issue or the other, we couldn't get this our top guys to come represent us for this qualifier. So I can say the shuffling rosters kind of affected our game. So I believe it kind of affected our game. I just my own personal opinion, the opinions may differ, but my personal opinion, I feel it affected our game to a point.
Okay. For me, I feel that the honest truth is that our house is not in order.
Yeah,
So
totally agree.
many things that were not supposed to happen. And for me, I feel that we lost it in the first series of qualifiers. Not this final window, although we had a chance to qualify in the final window, but our destiny was no longer in our hands. The infighting, the friction, the politics, the bitterness that ensued in the Nigerian Basketball Federation that is what has dragged us here where we are right now.
Yeah, I
Because
totally
in the
agree.
final series, we needed to beat, win all our 3 games and hope that Cape Verde would lose. We won the first 2 games against Angola. Before we even went into the Angola game, we were hoping that Cote d'Ivoire would beat Cape Verde, but Cape Verde won the game against Cote d'Ivoire. So we lost to Angola 65 to 59 to end our hopes of participating in the 19th edition of the FIBA World Cup. But our destiny was no longer in our hands. So for me, I felt we lost this qualifiers because of the lack of orderliness in the Nigerian Basketball Federation, lack of planning, lack of funding, a lot of things. That was what cost us this qualification for the FIBA World Cup.
Yes, I believe so. You say?
You wanted to add something?
Yes, I wanted to add on the issue of the NBBF also. The NBBF coming for how would I put it, a body that represents the Basketball Association in Nigeria, and there's this fraction, having two factions that are saying, okay, one is saying he's the president of the NBBF, the other is saying he's the president, and none of them have refused to step down. So it kind of affected the body as a whole, because I remember, and we don't even have a league that is currently in session. There's no league, even for a long time. There's no league for, I think, is it up to 4 years or over 4 years now? There is no league. We just keep organizing these 8-team tournaments, 6-team tournaments, and it's very sad, and also it's not encouraging coming from the NBBF. Also, I just hope they are able to settle this, because it's one of the biggest barrier or biggest hurdle we have to scale if we want success, or if we want to progress in our basketball federation.
Yeah, we need the stakeholders of the Nigerian Basketball Federation to keep aside their egos, to come to the round table and discuss to move this game forward. We need them to consider that these players are the ones that are suffering. When two elephants fight, the grass suffers. They
Yeah,
need to
exactly.
come and find a common ground, because this case has been in court since 2018. The Nigerian Basketball League is in court because of the deal that that is the Tijani Umar-led board signed with Kwese TV, sorry. Till now, that case is still in court. And we don't have any basketball league functioning in the country because the case is in court. We just need them to come together and settle this case amicably between themselves. And we just hope for the best. Let's see what will happen in the coming years concerning the Nigerian Basketball Federation.
Yes.
Now let's switch to another painful event that also took place. Talking about the Tigress, the African champions, the women national team, Nigeria, how they qualify for the FIBA World Cup, and how the Nigerian Basketball Federation just jeopardized their chances of playing in this World Cup. But I wouldn't say, maybe you're making a mistake by saying the Nigerian Basketball Federation jeopardized their chances. The federal government, through the Minister of Sport, Sunday Dare, jeopardized their chances of qualifying for the World Cup.
And exactly, and the president of the country.
What's your thoughts on
that? Yes, because I remember that particular news when it broke out. Twitter was on fire, because there were reactions from everybody, even those that don't even know anything about basketball and all of that. You understand? So different people were just pouring out their opinion. Everybody was sad. They were questioning the Minister of Sports. They were questioning the president. Why would the president take such a decision without involving the players and all of that? this decision was only taken by the Minister of Sport and the President. People, there were thoughts all over everywhere. People were saying the Minister of Sport influenced the President, that because they feel the President is aware of the fraction, but not to the point of him taking such decision. So they feel
Yes, the
Minister of
Minister
Sport.
of Sport, that is not, it's not a speculation, that's the fact. The Minister of Sport, Sunday Dare, he is the one that made that decision. He was the one that influenced the president to take that decision because he was with one faction or the other. He was not going along with one faction. He was trying to impose his will on the Basketball Federation, and the other faction was not having it. So, because of the disagreement between the a faction of the Nigerian Basketball Federation and the Ministry of Sport, that is why that decision was made. So, he was the one. He is the one.
Yes, because I also remember that incident. It caused the players of the Tigers and also our women's national team, the Tigers, to come together and have a space on Twitter. You understand? So I was privileged to attend that meeting, and you understand, and they were all sad and all of that. I think to some points, most of the players were like, they were having thoughts of not representing the country and all of that, but we had to encourage them that there will be light at the end of the tunnel, that they are going to persuade the president, to lift the ban and all of that. So, and it kind of affected our girls mostly because they just qualified for the basketball. You understand? And I even want us to even go into that game. That's the game. The process at which, speaking of the Tigers in general, you understand? I want us to even talk about them, how they progress and all of that. So.
Yeah, before we even get to how they progress, the thing is that they will be affected. As the Tigers will be affected because it's not easy to qualify for the World Cup. It's
Yeah,
not easy
exactly.
to go through all the rigors of qualification, get that ticket, and be denied the chance to go to the World Cup by the federal government. It's not. It's a very bad. It's a very sad and unfortunate event.
Yeah, it's a
And
very
when
sad.
you look at qualifying for the World Cup, it doesn't stop there. Qualifying for the World Cup is also an opportunity to qualify for the Olympics. Just like the men that have failed to qualify for this World Cup now. Because of Nigeria is highly ranked in Africa, we have the opportunity to qualify for the Olympics through the OQTs. And it's a very tough route to take, but that is an opportunity. So it was a very sad and unfortunate event that took place. And for me, I felt that if I was not against the basketball being banned in Nigeria, because I believe that we can no longer continue like this with two factions, the Tijani Omar faction and the Sakida faction. Nigeria Basketball League has been in court for how many years now, since 2018, no resolution, no solution, nothing. So I was of the belief that we cannot continue like this. But the mistake of the Minister of Sport, Sunday Dare himself, was that he should have allowed these girls to participate in that World Cup. And after their participation, then they can now declare the nationwide ban on basketball in Nigeria. But not after these girls have gone through the rigors of qualification, suffered, labored, and qualified for the World Cup. Then you are now denying them a chance of representing their country on the global stage. It was a very bad decision taken by the Ministry of Sport.
Yeah, that was a very bad decision because it shows the level of incompetence we have in our government and the level of incompetent leaders that are representing us, because that's a very bad decision. Put the entire national team at risk. We failed to qualify and all of that. So it affected our game. It affected us.
Yeah, it affected us. It affected a lot of things. A lot of these ladies that were planning, or more of those ladies that were would have the World Cup, qualifying for the World Cup would have given us a lot of opportunity to get some ladies that are in the WNBA that maybe have not played for Nigeria before, but at least they would have seen that as an opportunity to represent the country Nigeria. But because of that, Everything just truncated the progress of this D-Tigers team, truncated a lot of things. It was a very, very bad decision, very bad one.
Yeah, very, very bad
And
decision.
after the decision was made, willing to come out a few months later to come and reverse the decision. It was a very sad one.
Yeah, it's a very, very sad one. And but Sunday Dare would go down in history as one of the I really don't know the actual word to use to describe him. It's a very terrible decision, an incompetent person. He's not even a leader, it's an incompetent person. So it's a bad decision. It affected us. The Nigeria basketball, we are beginning to even get the recognition in the world, after beating the United States in that exhibition game. So I don't know what just happened, and that decision just spoiled all the image and what we have been trying to build over the years.
Hmm. I would like us to move away from Nigerian basketball. At least we've given our key piece on that. Let's move to the talking points about the NBA playoffs.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the D Tigers, the players that are the D Tigers that are in the NBA playoffs currently. Let's talk about them. We have Gabe Vincent. We have Gabe Vincent for the Miami Heat. We have Josh Okoji for the Phoenix Suns. We have
Yeah.
Chimezie Metu for the Sacramento Kings. We also have Obi Toppin, but Obi Toppin has never represented Nigeria. He has never represented the D Tigers. I don't know whether he has any plans to do so, but we know that he's of Nigerian descent. Obi Toppin Metu for the Sacramento Kings. Obi Toppin, Isaac Okoro, Obi Toppin for the New York Knicks. Isaac Okoro and Onyeka Okongwu for the Atlanta Hawks. Isaac Okoro is for the Cleveland Cavaliers. Obi Toppin, Isaac, and Onyeka have never represented the D Tigers. I don't know whether they have any plans of doing so. So, what is your opinion of these Nigerian players that are in the NBA playoffs currently?
Speaking of Nigerian players in the NBA player, I think you also missed one of the key guys that is actually making the headlines recently. Desmond Bain also is of a Nigerian descent also, and
I don't think it's of that different, but I don't think Desmond Bain has any plan to even represent Nigeria. Well, you never can tell. I read some of these players too that I don't know. I don't know whether they have any plan to represent the D Tigers. You can also argue.
uh, yes. Speaking of the Tigers players, let's leave the players that have not represented us, of Nigeria descent, heritage. But speaking of the
Now
Tigers players that are going to the
let's talk about the three main guys that have won the green, white, green in Gabe Vincent, Josh Okuchi, and Chimezie Metu.
to yeah. Speaking of Gabe Vincent, when he's playing for the Miami Heat, he goes Gabe Vincent, but when he's wearing the green, white, green flag, he goes by his native name Nnamdi. Speaking of Gabe Vincent, we are familiar with Gabe Vincent. We're familiar with his game. You understand? He has been with the Miami for some times now, and the players are familiar with him also. They love him. They know how he plays his game, and you understand. This is the point guard for the Miami Heat. So, and I've watched a couple of his games, even in the regular season, and also few clips in these playoffs. Gabe Vincent is a good ball. He's a good ball handler. Also, he's beginning to step up in terms of his gameplay, and also he has improved tremendously. I watched the game against the game one against the Milwaukee Bucks. You understand? He was able to make a couple of 3 pointers. He was able to take some shots and all of that. So he played a vital role in their Miami Heat first win against the Bucks. Against the Bucks. And so because I remember one particular scene in that game where Jimmy Butler had to save the ball from going, and it eventually it ended up with Gabe Vincent. He was right at the corner, and he took that shot wonderful, and he went in. So I think the Miami Heat are beginning to love him. They're beginning to have that confidence in him going into the playoffs, and So it's good to see. It's good to see Gabe Vincent getting that game plan, that game level, and more time playing. You understand? His confidence is there. He's quick on the ball. We're all familiar with game. We saw his game against the against United States team in the exhibition game. So I'm pretty confident on Gabe Vincent with the Miami Heat. So speaking of Phoenix Suns, Josh Okogie. Josh Okogie is one of my favorite Tigers players. I've watched the game where when he was still with Minnesota, the Timberwolves. But now he's currently with the Phoenix Suns. And the Josh Okogie I saw in the Timberwolves and the Josh Okogie I saw with this Phoenix Suns is different. He has improved tremendously. Josh Okogie is all about the defense. You understand the steals you get and the layups and all of that. So Josh Okogie has improved tremendously. I'm so glad he's with the Phoenix Suns. I'm so glad he's currently with the in the playoffs also, and he has contributed a lot to the Phoenix Suns during the regular season. I've watched a lot of clips of him. I remember one of the clips that can never leave my head is I remember the game between Golden State Warriors and the Phoenix Suns, and how there was a open play for Green. It was just an open play for him to either dunk the ball or lay off. So it had, and we know the size of Green of the Golden State Warriors, his height and all of that, compared to Josh Okogie, who is about 6'3", and Josh ended up. The block was massive. It was amazing. So we know Josh Okogie. We're familiar with his game plan, more of defense. He's very good on the ball. He's very quick. He's fast. Um, I'm glad to see him get the playing time with the Phoenix Suns, and it's not just about getting playing time. It's about taking the opportunity when it comes, utilizing it very effectively. So I'm glad with Josh Okogie. He's doing us proud, flying the flag very high. And then lastly on Chimezeme too. Um, I'll be honest with you. I'm not proud with what I'm seeing with Chimezeme too. We know the kind of talent this guy is. We know what he's capable of doing. We've seen his game against the United States team in the exhibition game. We've seen his game even in the Afro basketball qualifiers for this 2023 FIBA World Cup. He has contributed tremendously. So we're familiar with his game. We know what he can bring to the team. But seeing him in the Sacramento Kings, he's not getting games. He's not getting game time. Couple of games there. He's having just 2 minutes, 3 minutes of game, and you understand. So he's not contributing much even to the Sacramento Kings. And so honestly, I'm not happy with his game currently. So
Yeah, okay. For me, we know the best big Tigers players right now. It's not even debatable. It's Gabe Vincent. You know how Gabe Vincent was very instrumental for the Miami Heat last season. They were just one shot away from going to the NBA Finals against the Boston Celtics. At
yeah,
least they went to the Eastern Conference Finals last season. He's a very crucial member of that team. He's the backup point guard to Kyle Lowry, and most of this current the regular season of the NBA, Kyle Lowry has been dealing with injuries, so he's the one that has been running the offense for that team. So we know the credibility is there. He's a very key piece, a very important player for the Miami Heat. So just hope that he continues to go from strength to strength. Now to Josh Okogie. Josh Okogie was the fifth starter for the Phoenix Suns during the regular season. So I was happy thinking to myself that he has already secured that fifth spot for himself because the trade that happened with the Phoenix Suns that made the Phoenix Suns to trade um, Cam Thomas and Michael Bridges to the Brooklyn Nets to get
to the
Kevin
Brooklyn
Durant and
Nets.
some draft picks, the sense of draft picks to the Brooklyn Nets made the bench of the Phoenix Suns very light. So I was glad that at least Josh Okogie will play a very important role in this playoffs for the Phoenix Suns, but it has not been so. His spot has already been taken by Torrey Craig. And I would not blame the coach for using Torrey Craig ahead of Josh Okogie in this playoffs because since Torrey Craig started the first game, he has been playing very, very well, hitting trees, and he's a very good defender for wing. Josh Okugi is also a wing, very good defender, very athletic. But one thing about Josh Okugi, he's not a consistent 3 point shooter. He's not consistent with shooting the three. I mean, he's not
Yeah,
a
exactly.
knockdown shooter. The effort on the defensive end is there. He gives his effort, very athletic, moving up and down the court. But he really needs to improve his 3 point shooting because that is what is going to keep him in this league. Because the ceiling of Josh Okogie is just a 3 and D guy, somebody that they just need you to hit threes and play defense. That's what I see his role is going to be in this league, this NBA. I don't think he's going to have any big role in the league except that role, which is 3 and D, hit threes and play defense for us. And that's a very important role also in the NBA. Why for Chimeze Metu that DMPCD? For those of our listeners that doesn't know what DMPCD means, did not play coach's decision. That is, he's not even featured. He's not he's as an afterthought to the coach right now. That is, he's not for even this current series that is going on between the Sacramento Kings and the Golden State Warriors. The coach does not trust him to put him on the court. And I will not blame the coach. Those games have been very high level games that are decided until the final seconds of the clock. Very high level games, high level basketball. He's somebody that was finding it difficult to get regular season minutes. How do you think that person is going to get playoff minutes? It's quite
Uh,
impossible. So
mm.
that's the story of Nigerian players in the NBA, those that have won the green, white, green, and those that have represented the Tigers. Now that we've talked about the Nigerian players that are in the NBA playoffs, I'd like us to talk about the Nigerian Basketball League. I'm going back to Nigeria again, and this is the problem. Katakata everywhere. The Nigerian Basketball League, the hurdles, the problem facing the local league, and the solution. So, Amos, we have come to meet you now. We are imagining that we are assuming is the right word, that those that are running the NBPF, the Nigerian Basketball Federation, they don't know the hurdles of the Nigerian Basketball League, and they don't even know the problem that is facing with the league. So we have come to you for solutions. Please guide us, give us solutions.
Um, it's good you guys came to me for solution, and I'll do my best as a patriotic citizen and a lover of Nigerian basketball to also provide a solution. Speaking of the Nigerian Basketball League, and first of all, I just want to bring to you know that there was a time, I went on YouTube to search about clips of the Nigerian Basketball League. I just wanted to see how the basketball league was faring. You understand? I just want to see how the level at which the basketball league is. And precious to my greatest surprise, I couldn't find clips. The clips I saw were 8 years, 7 years back clips. You understand? And first of all, it has given me a picture of how the basketball leagues and the shambles which the basketball
Yeah.
league is currently. Yeah, it's
So no
currently at.
show,
And
no show. If it's a shambles, we can say we want to repair. It's a no show. The Nigerian Basketball League is a no show.
yeah, I totally agree with you on that. Because I said something earlier about the leaders or the people that the so-called people that are representing this Nigerian basketball league. You understand that are in the ends of a fear concerning the basketball league and how they have toyed with talents, with emotions, with sweat, with dedication. Because most of these guys didn't just get to the level at which they are. The players, I'm talking about the players now, most of them had to struggle,
Yeah.
most of them had to sweat. You understand, and you know how players go through all this rigorous training, just so that they can play basketball, so that they can stand out from other players. And seeing our Nigerian Basketball Federation, jeopardizing all because of emotional and title entitlement, it's very sad. But the solution there, first of all, what I would do is to take out the entire Nigeria Basketball Federation, take out the entire team, because that team, the previous and the recent or the faction, they have they've done nothing, absolutely nothing, than to drown the Nigeria Basketball Federation. You know, it's even would I say the grace of God that even we still talk about the Nigeria basketball. You know, we talk about the Nigeria basketball probably maybe as a result of these international guys that are representing us, or the women's national team, the Tigers that are really flying our flag high. You understand? So first of all, I'll take out
Yeah.
the entire team for the Nigeria Basketball Federation, the committee, the ad hoc staff, whatever it is, they need a total overhaul of that federation. They need it to, and I think it's high time we start getting leaders that understand what sports is. I'm not sure Sunday Daddy has ever played basketball. Even if I stand to be corrected, even if I'm not sure he played basketball. I'm not sure. He's our minister of sport, but I'm not sure he played. So if we have somebody that
There's no person that has been in the ministry of. There's nobody that has been a minister of sports in Nigeria that has participated in any sport. It's a political appointment. We all know that all these things are political appointments just to create the quota of people that work for the incumbent, becoming. So we know all these things. It's just political appointment. Let's just leave it at that.
exact. So you can see where the problem, the origin of the problem is starting from. We're just having political, you get more like politicians just filling in the space of roles that are meant for competent leaders, or people that have gone through the process, that understand the process, and understand what the game means to these players. So the minister of sport has to go. So it's high time we start getting people that are competent, that understand this game, even if they've not played that particular sport, but knows the essence of this game and how important this game are. So if we can start from that, I think we can eat 60% of our problems, or of our hurdles we're facing in the local league.
Yeah, for me, this anytime I think about the Nigerian basketball league like this, it just gets me upset. Just it's something that I can't just wrap my head around. Because the Nigerian basketball league has a case, in court since 2018. That is how many years now? We are in 2023, for God's sake. Since 2018, the Nigerian basketball league has not been functioning since 2018. That's a joke. I can't believe that I'm saying it's a joke. For me, this case is no longer a case that needs to be in the Nigerian court anymore. This case should be taken to the Court of Arbitration for Sports. It should be taken to CAS. CAS is the one that should decide on this case. But it's taking too long, since 2018. Do you know how many years of crimes of people that are supposed to be playing this game have been wasted? How many years of players how many years of different basketball players in the local league that have been wasted because of this case? It's a joke. This case should no longer be in the Nigerian court. It should be taken to the Court of Arbitration for Sports. That's my own opinion. That's what needs to happen. Musa Kida needs to take this case to CAS. This case should be taken to CAS. We can no longer continue to wait for the court case in Nigeria for a judgment. We can no longer continue to wait because it's wasting time. Since 2018, that's how many years now? We are in 2023, for crying out loud. And another thing I feel that has made maybe why we are just moving lackadaisically and all at this nonchalant attitude towards Nigeria league is maybe because we believe that we now have a lot of international players and those that are in the NBA that are willing to represent us. If we don't have any player in the NBA or any international player, so without the local basketball league, so there will not be any basketball in Nigeria. Because we won against the USA, everybody was happy. Everybody was Nigerian basketball is moving for. For me, that the league at home is not functioning. And here that we won against those players that represent us, not that they are not Nigerian, they are Nigerian, but they were developed by the US. They were
Yeah,
developed by
exactly.
the none of like their trade in Africa in Nigeria.
Yeah.
It's a very bad one. And another thing that needs to happen is the league needs to kick off. It needs to get back. It needs to start going because we are suffering in terms of infrastructure. I watched I don't know whether it's the 8th tournament or the 16th tournament that was organized by the NBBF. It is a team that represents us in the Basketball Africa League where Kwara Falcons came out top.
Imagine winners. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, if you see the courts that these guys were playing on, if you see the environment, it was very bad, it was very poor. Even a high school court, high school, not in the United States, the high school team cannot play on that court. I'm telling you the fact. The high school team can play on that court. I've forgotten where that court is, whether it's in Lagos, I don't know. That indoor court was very bad. It was bad. It was, oh my God. It was very poor.
It's
Infrastructure.
terrible. It's
Infrastructure
terrible when
in Nigeria is
structure.
bad concerning basketball. Very bad. Very bad. I don't know what this Musa Kida led administration is doing at all. I don't see any standard indoor basketball courts in Nigeria now. I don't even know whether the one in the national stadium, whether that one is still okay, whether it's still functioning. I don't know. Infrastructure is very bad. We need a lot of investment in infrastructure to make this Nigerian basketball league to go
Yeah.
forward for me. That's one of the
We
things
need
that I believe.
jump.
Yeah.
Speaking of infrastructure, in fact, we need more than investment. Anything more, bigger funds, to revive this. Not revive. We need new, fresh courts, not to revive, because at the end of the day, we find out that these politicians or this MVBF team end up bringing out maybe funds to. They tell us they are revitalizing. They want to revive the courts. These courts are in shambles. These are old courts. You get, so we need funds for like brand new courts. You understand that? You can accommodate these guys and also accommodate lovers of basketball in respect of the fans and all of that. So we need more funds just to, if we can get even private investors or all of that to just help, so we can revive the basketball in Nigeria.
Because I don't know where the investment will come from. I'm just thinking, look at what Rwanda is doing with basketball. Look at what Senegal is doing with basketball. All these countries are just leaving us behind. The only thing that is helping us, that is still making us relevant, is the Nigerians in diaspora. For me, those are the only things. They are the ones that is still holding basketball for Nigeria. Let's end with the Kwara Falcons. They represented us. They were the tournament champions, because I will not call them the Basketball League champion. The organized tournament champion, the Super 8 championship.
Yeah,
that was held in the year, was held in I can remember. They lost the first game to the champions of Rwanda basketball. I've forgotten their name. They lost. They did not even win anything. There's no need of saying they lost. They didn't win anything. They just went there to go and make the numbers. They went to Bag to go and make up the numbers. What's your thoughts on Kwara Falcons?
Well, to be honest with you, I'm just getting to know Kwara Falcons even in the league. You understand? And speaking of Kwara Falcons, these guys have not been playing in the league for years now. For years. And so what do you expect from a team that has not been playing? That has not been playing in the league? The country does not even have a league where these guys are playing or where these guys are competing on the top level or even local level. Nothing. So I'm not surprised by the
Yeah, I agree with you. They're just living like that. You have said it all. So I thank all our listeners for listening to Naija Talks Basketball. Please, we implore you to subscribe to Naija Talks Basketball on YouTube and subscribe to Naija Talks Basketball on Spotify and everywhere you get your podcasts. We'll be coming with more and more content concerning Nigerian basketball. I'm your host, Precious, also joined by Amos. Thank you for your time.
Also. Yeah, it's a
Yeah,
pleasure. Thank you
thank
for
you.
having me here, Precious.
Thank you.
Hello and welcome to the Naija Talks Basketball Podcast brought to you by your host Amos and Precious. Each week you will hear a lot about all things Nigerian basketball from the D Tigers to the Tigers and other basketball leagues like the NBA, BL and many more. Thanks and subscribe to our YouTube channel Naija Talks Basketball and follow us on Spotify and everywhere you get your podcast. Thank you.